Hello, good afternoon, Tribuners. Welcome back with me, Mutiara, in Indonesian News of Tribun Lampung. We will present you an updating and interesting information from every place in Indonesia. And here the complete news. The first news is Ferdy Sambo deliberately planted the assassination of Brigadir J, former head of the Profession and Security Division of Indonesian National Police. Inspector General Ferdy Sambo finally confessed to the murder of Brigadir Nofriansah Yosua Huta Barat alias Brigadir J, which occurred on Friday, July 8, 2022. According to Ferdy Sambo's confession, when he was questioned by the Indonesian Police Criminal Investigation Agency on Thursday, August 11, 2022, he deliberately summoned Barada E and Chief Police Brigadier R to participate in planning the assassination of Brigadir J. This was done by Ferdy Sambo after receiving a report from his wife Putri Chandrawati regarding the action taken by Brigadir J against him. This action is said to have been carried out by Brigadir J to Putri Chandrawati while they were in Magelang, Central Java. FS said he became angry and emotional after receiving a report from his wife PC, who experiences an act that hurt the dignity of the family that occurred in Magelang by the late Joshua in Magelang. Therefore, FS summoned R and RE to plan the assassination of Joshua. Brigadier General Andirian revealed the result of the confession after conducting an examination of Ferdy Sambo on Thursday, August 11, 2022, after becoming a suspect in the death of Brigadir J. Ferdy Sambo was examined by the special team at the Mobile Brigadier Command Headquarters from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Based on the result of the examination, the Directorate of General Crimes of the Criminal Investigation Unit of the Indonesian National Police Brigadier General Andirian said that Inspector General Ferdy Sambo planned the murder of Brigadir J because it was triggered by feelings of vengeance and emotions. Regarding the details of the action taken by Brigadir J on Putri, the head of the Public Relations Division of Indonesian National Police, Inspector General Dedi Prasetyo, emphasized that everything would be revealed later in the trial. The second news is Brigadir J's family will forgive Ferdy Sambo and Barada E. The family of Brigadir J or Nofriansah Yosua Huta Barat apologized to Inspector General Ferdy Sambo and Barada E or Richard Eliezer. As previously reported, Inspector General Ferdy Sambo and Barada E are suspected of being involved in the murder of Brigadir J. Brigadier Joshua's father, Samuel Huta Barat, said the family would still open the door for forgiveness if Ferdy Sambo apologized. However, because Indonesia is state of law, everyone who is guilty must be punished according to his actions. The family also forgave Barada Richard Eliezer. Samuel understood the condition of Barada E, who is a subordinate and carried out the orders of his superior Ferdy Sambo. Barada E's family apologized by Richard Eliezer's uncle Royke Pudihan. Meanwhile, Samuel hopes that the case can be disclosed as transparently as possible and provide the virus possible justice. The next news is The region of Pemalang was caught in the Corruption Eradication Commission arrest operation. Two rooms of the Communication and Information Service of the Pemalang Regency Government Central Java were immediately sealed by the Corruption Eradication Commission investigators since Thursday, August 11, 2022, after the region was caught in the Corruption Eradication Commission's arrest operation in the Senayan area, Jakarta. The two rooms that were sealed by the Corruption Eradication Commission were the office of the head of the Communication and Information Service and the Electronic Action Room of the Communication and Informatics Service. Secretary of the Communication and Information Office of Pemalang Regency, Joko Ngadmo, told Tribun News that after the two rooms were sealed by the Corruption Eradication Commission, activities at the Communication and Information Service were still running as usual. He explained that the public room was the Secretariat Room of the Pemalang Regency Communication and Information Office. At first, he was surprised to see two rooms sealed by the Corruption Eradication Commission. Joko said that his party received information about the Pemalang Regency Communication and Information Office when they saw the television show. Central Java Governor Ganjar Pranowo said that the arrests involving regional heads in his region had repeatedly warned regional heads not to be involved in corruption crimes. He emphasized communication in an effort to warn regional heads not to be involved in corruption was carried out intensely. Moreover, Central Java said Ganjar has long cooperated with the Corruption Eradication Commission to prevent corruption. The next news is evacuation of 2-meter-long crocodile in the Cisadane River. The West Java Natural Resources Conservation Center for Region 1 Section Region 2 Bogor evacuated crocodiles captured by residents on Wednesday, August 10, 2022 in the Cisadane River, Bantarjaya Village, Rancabungur District, Bogor Regency. It is known residents managed to catch an estuarine crocodile type Shulong with a length of approximately 2 meters, which is estimated to be 2 years old. However, before the crocodile was evacuated by the Natural Resources Conservation Agency, residents had an argument with the officer who wanted to secure the crocodile. Residents asked for compensation money because one of the 8 residents who caught a crocodile in the river injured his leg due to a sharp object. In addition, residents argued that there were parties who claimed to be the owners of the crocodile and dared to give money to the resident in the amount of 1.2 million rupiah. But residents asked for compensation of the 2 million rupiah to the person who claimed it to be the owner of the crocodile and also to officials from the Center for Conservation of Resources Natural. After the Natural Resources Conservation Center was assisted by the Rancabungur District, Rancabungur Civil Service Police Unit and Bantarjaya Village to negotiate with residents who claimed to have caught the crocodile without giving compensation. For approximately 1 hour without negotiation, then the crocodile was successfully evacuated by the Natural Resources Conservation Center. When evacuated, the crocodile was already in a limp condition because the crocodile was placed in an empty house with tight conditions, closed mud, and lack of water. The forest ranger from the Regional to Regional Bidang Conservation Agency for Bogor, Dani Hamdani, said that he would take the portrait he would take the protected animals to Natural Resources Conservation Center office located on Karadenan Street, Bogor Regency. With the condition of wild animals that are currently weak, Dhani Hamdani said the recovery time for these animals can reach 3 weeks. However, until now, the Natural Resources Conservation Center has not been able to confirm where the crocodile came from. The next news is an unscrupulous Indonesian National Army mastermind the murder. The following are facts about the murder of the treasurer of Indonesian National Sports Committee, North Koyang Regency, West Kalimantan. The victim, whose initials were AN, aged 35 years old, was killed by an unscrupulous member of Indonesian National Army and 3 assassins assigned to help execute the victim. The Indonesian National Army soldier with the initial AK was the mastermind in the murder. The motive for this case was triggered by debt problems between AK and AN. The following are facts about the Indonesian National Armed Forces who masterminded the murder of the treasurer of Indonesian National Sports Committee, summarized from tribunnewsbogor.com on Friday, August 11, 2022. This case began when the victim's body was found by residents on Saturday, July 31, 2022 at around 9 o'clock a.m. The location is under the bridge in Sukawangi Village, Sukamakmur District, Bogor Regency. The victim's body was found accidentally when residents took selfies at the crime scene. Residents at the time showed a suspicious sack package when opening it. It was found to contain the body of a man. Then about 4 hours later, the police arrived at the scene to evacuate the victim. The next news is distribution of 10 billion red and white flags in Tabalong. The movement to distribute 10 million red and white flags to the community was also carried out by the Tabalong Regency government. To mark this movement, the region of Tabalong, Anang Sakviani, symbolically handed over the red and white flag to all sub-district heads on Wednesday, 10 August 2022 at Bersinar. According to the region of Tabalong, Anang Syahfiani said that what was being done was to follow up on the Minister of Home Affairs' order to distribute flags to people throughout Indonesia, including on Earth Sarabakawa. Through this movement, it is hoped that the commemoration of the 77th anniversary of Republic Indonesia's Independence Day at 2022 is expected to be more lively. On that occasion, the region also asked the sub-district heads to follow up on this activity, including at the village level. Separately, the head of the governance section of Tabalong Regional Secretary, Zahir Shah Manuar, said that this activity was in accordance with the direction in the letter of the Secretary General of the Ministry of Home Affairs dated the 29th of July 2022 regarding the commemoration of the Independence Day of the Republic of Indonesia through the distribution of 10 movements, million red and white flags. Then it was also followed up through the Tabalong region's letter dated August 1, 2022 regarding participation in celebrating the 77th anniversary the independence of Republic Indonesia. The last news comes from Pekanbaru. Inauguration of the first vaccination and immunization mall in Indonesia. The first vaccination and immunization mall in Indonesia was established on Melur Pekanbaru Street, Riau. This vaccination and immunization mall is a vaccination facility intended for people who need COVID-19 vaccination, but also for other vaccination, including complete immunization, which are usually only obtained at Posyandu everyday or health facilities. For the COVID-19 vaccination, 1, 2, and also booster vaccination are available. As for the types of immunization that can be obtained are all types of vaccines such as BCG, DPT polio, measles, rubella, and so on. The head of the Riau Provincial Health Office, Zainal Arifin, said that the idea of making this vaccination mall started from seeing the high public interest in getting COVID-19 vaccination. When there was a patient house at the health office some time ago, there were approximately 500 to 600 visits every day. Many people testify that they need vaccines outside of their working hours, such as after work or especially at night. With the patient house, they are greatly helped and made it easier to get vaccination services. The vaccination and immunization mall is planned to be officially opened on Wednesday, August 11, 2022 by the Governor of Riau, Samsuar. Well, I think that's all the news for today with me, Mutiara. Don't forget to follow us at Tribun Lampung News Video YouTube, Tribun Lampung Facebook, Tribun Lampung Instagram, and Tribun Lampung TikTok for further information. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.